Alright YouTube, what is happening? We are doing a new video. Got a new Wicked Edge today. And I'm pretty stoked about it. This is their newest model of Wicked Edge called the Go. It's also their least expensive, and what's cool about it is it all comes in this canvas bag here, and everything you need, it's got a little carrying handle, is right in here. So let's open her up and check it out. I've actually already set it up once, but I thought I should probably show you what it looks like. So everything comes in here, it's all pre-enclosed. You've got your main sharpening unit in here. And most of the stuff is enclosed in this unit, including your stones, your rods, those things, and an Allen wrench that I left out. You also get your angle, your jaws to hold your knife, I guess we call them. You get a Sharpie. They include a Sharpie. How rad is that? And a C-clamp. So that's what you get inside of there. Let's put this aside, and I'll kind of set it up. So what you do is you've got your Wicked Edge here, you've got your different, you got your rods here to install on these guys, which we'll do. You take these out and you put them on here, like so. So this is a really cool unit because it makes Wicked Edge way more affordable for a lot of people. And it's an add-on unit, so you're not going to get a lot as far as stones are concerned, but you can add on any of the Wicked Edge stones you want to this, which is great. So this is kind of a basic unit. Okay, so underneath here is actually your stones, and these just slide out of here. Now obviously if you added on more stones you wouldn't be able to take it all with you, but for me I wasn't as hung up on the portability aspect as more as the price, because you know Wicked Edge has always been very expensive, and this makes it a little bit more affordable for everyone to get. So those are your stones, and then there's your jaws. And if you're a right-handed sharpener, there's a little hole right here. You would use that screw, and it even comes with this big Allen wrench that sticks right in here on the side, which is awesome. So you basically just screw that in to secure it. And last, you got these 3 holes here, and I'm gonna have to move it forward a little bit, so I'm gonna have to change my camera just a smidge here. I mean to give you a cross shot there, sorry. We're still not in frame here. But I'll do a video where I actually have this, or a clip here where I actually have the clamp set up and everything, and I'll mount a knife and everything. But that's pretty much the gist of what you get. Now you have your adjustable angles here, anywhere from 15 all the way up to 30, and you can go, it's not just like 5, it's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, you know, all the way up. So you can go very, very specific on your edges. I've got it set right now to, I had one side at 20, one side at 19, but now they're both at 19, or about the 20, but you can go lower, you can go higher. I like a 20-degree edge most of the time, so that's probably where I'll keep it, but depending on, where the edge is. Now let's go over before I show you how the knife's clamped in and everything, I want to talk about the instructions they give you, because they're really good. They give you nice colored instructions here. Let's see if we can get these in frame. You get basically how to set up your Wicked Edge, how to set up your angle properly, how to determine your knife's angle, or how to mount it. Oh, there's one little piece that's missing that I was using earlier. Oh, there it is. This little guy here. So when you put your knife in, you're going to put that in there. You're going to then put your knife in there. I'll just kind of give you I just happen to have this random knife here. And then you're going to tighten it and then pull that out. If it's less than 1 inch thick. If it's over 1 inch thick, you're going to go down to the second tier here and then put your knife in, tighten it with the included Allen wrench, and remove that. So, but what I liked about these is, besides the fact, oh, here's how you set it up, they basically tell you how to sharpen, which is awesome. They tell you how to find your angle correctly using the included Sharpie, color the edge, and then set your sharpener to 20 degrees, rub the 600 grit stone on the blade. If it takes off the marker, then you know that's the correct angle. If not, go out by 1 degree on each side, and rinse and repeat. Kind of simple stuff. Make 10 strokes on one side of the knife, then check and see if a burr is formed. I'm not going to get into sharpening as much in this video. This is more about just this unit, but this is the hardest thing about sharpening for me, for a lot of people, is understanding when you have that burr. And they give you a really good explanation on this page here of this manual on how to do that. A really good explanation, best I've ever read. Not going to read it to you. They give you a nice diagram, but it works really well. And then they tell you basically, if you can't find a burr with the 600 grit stone, then move on to the 200. And that's something I should talk about here. Is it comes with 2 sets of diamonds. And you can see I've already used them. I've already sharpened a knife, 2 actually with this, just to test it out. So you have 600 grit stones, which they recommend you using to start. If it's a more coarse steel or you're trying to reprofile, they give you 200 grit diamonds. Okay, that's going to remove a lot of steel. You're not going to use these a whole lot. If you do it right and find the right, if you find your factory angle of your edge, you don't have to use those. You shouldn't really have to use those 200 grit stones unless you're working with a really hard steel. If you're working with, like, I would say S35 and lower, you're going to be able to use the 600 grit stone no problem. Now, you can use the 200, and it will save you a lot of time, but it does remove a lot more steel, so that's something to consider. So you get those stones. Again, you can buy any of these other Wicked Edge stones. They have tons of them. They have all kinds of ceramics. They have some strops. They have water stones. They have all kinds of stuff. So this is a very expandable unit. It's not set, but this is the least expensive Wicked Edge you get. The pre-order price was $150. I think they're going to be a little bit more now that they're off pre-order. If you didn't pre-order it, might be up to $200, maybe $175. I don't think they have that quite yet on their website, but what a good deal, because I tell you what, this is the easiest sharpening system I've ever used. I've had some of the clamp ones. I had the KME for a long time, which is a great sharpener, but having to flip the knife back and forth always seemed to be kind of problematic. With this, you don't have to do that, and the knife just stays like this, and you basically just, you do 10 strokes on this side, or 15 or 20 or whatever it is for whatever steel. Then you move over to the other side. It's very easy to make sure that, because the way these pivot and rotate, it's very easy to make sure that you're getting the stone all the way along the knife. You get really nice even bevels. And then when you're, once you've got your burr and you want to knock that burr down, you just alternate stroke to stroke. See, on those clamp style, you really can't do that. You have to flip it back and forth. You know what I mean? You have to, like, do 10 and flip and do 10. Or this, you can just do back, 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 and you can get a really nice edge on these knives. Now, I will say that these stones don't give you the keenest edge. You're only going to 600 grit diamond. I'd like to see a little bit finer grit. What I ended up having to do, I sharpened a couple knives, and they were sharp. They just weren't quite where I wanted them. I just hit them on on my work sharp strop, Canyon, and then I got to a really nice fine edge. I sharpened this Delica, old school Delica I've had for years that I used to it's been sharpened a ton. It probably has very little steel left. And when I finished it with the 600 grit, I don't have a good sheet of paper. It wasn't very sharp, but once I hit on that, it was sharp, but not. It kind of got caught up on the paper, so that basically it had to weigh a very, very toothy edge. So I took it to that little strop, and now it's very, very sharp, and so no big deal. So I will upgrade these stones, or not necessarily upgrade. I will get more stones. I'll get some ceramics, and then you can really refine your edge. With this, you're going to get a toothy edge, a working man's edge that's going to cut anything you need it to, but it's not going to be as sharp as you may want it, just as a heads up. But it is an expandable system, that's the point. And if you can't afford to spend, $500-600 on it right away, you can then, piece together your stones as time goes on. Or, you could set it like at a 20 degree, and if you have a Spark or Sharp Maker, just use your Sharp Maker fine stones, refine that edge, and then you're good to go. Or a strop, you got lots of options. I plan on expanding the system. I think it's great. I love how high quality it is. It's nice built aluminum. Everything they give you to sharpen is really what you need. Really cool. They even include the Sharpie and the clamp. You clamp basically on the edge of a table. Or you could drill, if you want to just mount it to like a workbench or something, you could drill screws in there and mount it on there. But you do want to mount it somehow. I use the clamp. I just put it on the edge of this table that I'm on, and I'll show you that here in a sec. And I'll show you kind of how a knife's set up right before we're ready to sharpen it. I'm not going to do a sharpening tutorial. Those take a long time. Just kind of want to talk about this this particular product. And if you want to see, knife sharpening, I'll be glad to do it. So let me know in the comment section. But we just kind of wanted to show you this. I just got it in the mail today, kind of an unboxing, first impressions, overview of this system. I think it's going to be great. It's affordable. I think it's one of the easiest systems I've ever used. I've always wanted to try Wicked Edge, but never wanted to drop the $500-600 when they first came out. They were so expensive. They've dropped in price, and they have lots of different options, and that's nice to see that they've expanded their market to people that don't want to spend that much on a sharpening system. You can get a nice sharp edge off of this if you got a strop, or if you got some ceramic stones. Touch it up after with the diamonds, and you're going to have a nice keen edge on it. If you want go further, just get more stones from them. So, all Alright guys, that's going to wrap up the video. I'm going to roll in some footage here in a sec of the with the knife mounted and some other tips here, and just to kind of give you an idea what that's like, and then we'll wrap it up. Alright, so you can see I've got the knife set up, I've got the tape on the blade. One thing they don't say in their instructions is to tape off the blade. These diamond stones can cause scratches on your blade, so if you don't want your blade to be all scratched up, then do that. I love that they provide the Sharpie. I got the Sharpie on there, and I started at the 20-degree edge like they say in the instructions, and I ended up having to back it out to about 23 degrees. Each side is kind of where this steel wheel resonant is. So now I'm just going to go ahead and start sharpening the knife. Alright, as you can see there, one tip I added was to, to tape off the blade a little bit. I did notice with these stones, I think maybe it's because the angle you're going at, they don't really mark up the blade very bad, which is nice. I mean, I didn't tape up this Delica because this Delica has been trashed. It's been sharpened so many times. But I noticed it didn't get any new scratches, and I even one time on the Resident, when I sharpened it, I didn't tape it once and it didn't get scratched up. So maybe it's the angle, I don't know. But I would still kind of tape the blade just to be safe. One thing I like about the system also is you can actually take the blade out of the knife. So if you want to disassemble the knife and not have the handle, you can just have the blade in there and you can sharpen it by itself. Another thing to think about. But alright guys, that's going to wrap up the video on the Wicked Edge Go. Very cool new product from them. I'm really excited about it. It's been on pre-order for a while, and it just came in, and they were a little behind on the pre-orders. I think they had tons and tons of pre-orders. I think it's going to be a very popular system, especially for the money. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.